You're such an asshole.
How you kids doing? AssholeConsulting.com got an economics question among some other ones. Anonymous writes, I have a question for a video that I thought might be interesting. Do you think there's a component to modern day poverty that has to do with the cost of living going up over time? Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. We'll go through the rest, but yeah, man, I don't know. Where have you been? For example, my dad is a plumber. Mom stayed home for the first 12 years of my life. Then she had to get a job as a lunch lady to help. There were three of us, and we were as middle class as you could get when the middle class existed. I got my sneakers at Payless, so why the F is the guy still working at 67? Does the rise of the cost of living over time factor in any way, especially now that people are having less children? And then you have two other questions. So let's answer the inflation. All right, there's two things happening here. Not necessarily unrelated, not related, not necessarily related, but both contribute to the reality and also the veneer that, we're losing, our wages are not keeping up with inflation. All right, the first thing is that in the book, right here, great book. I thought I had it. Poor Richard's Retirement. I go through a 1955 budget and a 2015 budget, or whatever year it was, modern day. And the real reason mommy has to work has nothing to do, does not have as much to do with taxes as you would think. Taxes have gone up since the 50s. The welfare state has to be bought and paid for because women can't take care of their own children. Are you crazy? But that's not as much as you think it would be. What it is that people just spend more money. The average house now is like 2.5 times the size of a house back in the 50s. I mean, I remember growing up in the 80s, we had bunk beds, you got by. There was a car. The car was a crappy car in terms of modern day performance and technology. I'm sure it looked pretty, but it was a crappy car. And you just did without. There was budgeting. Clothing was a huge part of the American budget until we started outsourcing that to textile manufacturers in second, third world countries. And that's why your mom, if you're old enough, you remember your mom would get pissed if you got a tear in your pants. You don't wear your good clothes out and you patch things up. You put patches on your pants. So now people just piss away money. That's the main reason. You're not happy with a little bungalow. The concept of a starter home. That's really what's making people poor is they buy all this crap. And therefore, a higher percentage of their income goes to pay the interest on that crap. And so everyone feels poor, even though real wages have gone up. And household income has gone up because women are working. But for every dollar Americans have made in the past, 30, every added dollar they make, they spend $1.25. Taking on home equity lines and stuff like that. So that's why I'd be very curious. Go back and look at your parents. Did mommy want a horsey? Did we need 2 vehicles? Did the family do without? Why did mom have to go and work as a lunch lady? And now, it could have been taxes, could have been healthcare, something else. But I'm one. Usually, it was personal spending. All right, so that's one thing, and why it gives the veneer that we're losing money away. And then there is inflation. And this is, I'd say, much more recently. If you consider college tuition, I'd say this is the past 20 years. But more recently, since this isn't Obama's fault. Well, some of it is because everyone elects the people in. But it's been happening certainly since Obama. And as we have made money printer go burr. We had the Great Recession. You all voted in Obama for free money. He gave it to you. We made money printer go burr. Trump did not have money printer go burr. We're actually scaling it back. But then when the root beer float disease occurred, then he made money printer go burr. And now, especially under Biden, we're making money printer go burr. And what has happened now is because when you make money printer go burr, I don't know how many times we got to talk about the magnification effect of banks. No matter where that money is printed off and sent to, welfare bum, military, whatever, the money goes right to a bank. The bank immediately lends out 90% of it, or now even more because of the reserve requirement ratio. Now you have the multiplier effect. Okay. So 10 times the amount of money is effectively lent now out into the economy. So your effective money supply is much, much higher. And banks also, the magnifying effect, lend on things that you can't pay cash for. You usually don't pay cash for. And these are the things that have gone up in cost. And if you look at them, they're the things that account for the majority of the budget, even though they don't show up in the CPI. Cars, tuition, healthcare, and housing. The fifth one is retirement, but no one saves for retirement on top of it because stocks split. Nobody really thinks stocks go up, but if you look at the PE ratio, the dividend yields, even retirement, saving for retirement has been priced out of most younger people's reach and grasp. And so when you have the economically illiterate, which is a vast majority of Americans, young or old, but particularly young, they all worship Barack Hussein Obama. He printed off the money. The money printer went burr. And now more recently, it's Biden. And Trump a little bit too, to be honest. And that money then goes and inflates asset prices for cars, tuition, housing, without increasing demand for the wage and the labor. Now, money will inevitably flow into wages. I don't know if you notice it, like to get a Big Mac meal is now like $12 or something like that. But it is magnified on multitudes of orders so because banks channel the money into cars, housing, tuition, although that's more federal government loans, but still loans nonetheless. Healthcare and stock buybacks. And so, yeah, the critical, I love how it's like, well, you can't include housing or rent in the CPI. That's not real inflation. It's like, and you can't include cars. That's not real inflation. I'm like, yeah, my effort, that's like 80% of the average American's budget are those two items right there, especially student loan, payments as well. And so, yes, your standards of living are genuinely going down, especially if you have student loans, especially if you didn't buy a property during the crash. You're not hedged or plugged into the housing market. I'm not even going to talk about retirement planning because millennials and Gen Zers just believe the government's going to take care of them. And then what was it? And then healthcare costs. I'm not going to bother with that because it's just, but yeah, standards of living have gone down for the majority of people because you all thought you're going to get free money. It was going to help out. And you did. And it helped out that one spending cycle you got where you got your government check and you spent it. And now you're wondering why rents are so high. Because it all goes back. And here's another thing. The money gets lent out by a bank. That guy takes the money. What does he do? He deposits it in his bank. Or maybe he buys a tractor to do some things. And the tractor company takes that, puts it in the bank. What do banks do? They lend it out again. For what? Oh, those same assets we can't pay cash for. Why are used cars so high? Love how many college-educated people there are out there that just don't get that basic bitch economic fact. It's just hilarious. All right, now then you had two other questions. Last question, what do you think of caddying for young men? I had a great experience. You get exercise, make cash money, rub shoulders with successful people, make connections. Well, caddying for young men, why not? Think of caddying. You would not be the caddy to young men. You are a young man who would like to caddy for men in general, or women too. Could it be superior to the almighty security guard? No, because I caddied once long ago. You don't get to sit down and do work on stuff. If you're into getting exercise and you want some free golf, yeah. I mean, it's a good, you get some good exercise. Sure. Talk to some people. I mean, I know your profession, you don't need the money, but yeah, if you want to, heck, you could even get clients that way for your particular profession. Cause this is a client of mine from before. That might be a great way to make, like, you do what in you caddy? That's interesting. Tell me more. Yeah, I do it on the side. Oh yeah, maybe I'll hit you up. Make sure you got a website though before you do. Actually, lastly, here we go. The smoking hot girl at the front desk wants to go out. She is so hot that if she asked me to suck farts out of her ass, I would wholeheartedly say yes. But after watching your videos, I will stay away for this. I hate you. All joking aside, let me know. Yeah, don't know. Now, if we talked about what you did before, what you want to do before, where she would no longer be a coworker, then you could suck all the farts out of her ass then. But you Do not. And I didn't make up these rules. Don't hate me for it. Hate women for it. They're the ones that didn't want, success. I'll just put it. He's a successful man. Many women would like to be with this guy. He has a good trade and profession. Nope. Too bad, girls. And you may be in your mind, well, this one's different. This one, no, they're not. They're not. Don't do it. No, don't. I know when you're free, you don't work there no more, then yeah. Same thing when I taught economics or college in general. I also taught statistics. You cannot sleep with your students while you're teaching them. That's immoral and ethical and unprofessional. The day they graduate and they invite you to their party, you go F them in their... Is that the parents' family? You go F them in their childhood bedroom. They've never left home. There they are 20, 21 years. I forgot how old she was. I was like, this is your room? Oh, yeah, that's right. You live at home. Your parents, All right. Cappy, you didn't. You damn right I did. God bless America. All right. Any super chats? Cobbett Man, $2. Printer goes burst. Stonks go up. BTFD? What's BTFD? Hang on. I got to look to see. BTFD. Buy the effing tip. Yep, buy the dip. Sadly, that's what all of finance is now. All investment strategy is just buy on the dip. Index investing, buy on the dip. Because money printer went burr. I'm so happy all the finance profession has now been obsoleted. There's like no need for you guys whatsoever. None whatsoever. Goodbye. Good day, sir. You lose. Good day, sir. All right, that's it. See you guys later. Toodles.